Breaking alert from South China Sea, U.S. Navy submarine. Underwater collision, unknown object, emergency surface. Crew injured, China claims responsibility. This is happening now. It's 2:47 p.m. local time, USS Connecticut SSN-22, Seawolf-class attack submarine, 12,000 tons submerged, crew of 134, nuclear-powered, most advanced submarine in fleet, operating submerged, standard patrol, intelligence collection, Chinese naval monitoring, then impact. Tremendous crash, metal tearing, hull breaching, pressure spike, emergency alarms, collision underwater, 350 feet depth, unknown object struck, forward section damaged, ballast tanks compromised, flooding reported, submarine in crisis, crew fighting for survival. Navy alert monitoring this submarine emergency developing, real-time updates, breaking coverage, underwater disaster, strategic implications, international crisis. At 2:49 p.m., emergency procedures initiated, damage control teams responding, watertight doors sealed, compartments isolated, flooding contained, engineering assessing damage, navigation calculating options, command deciding response, surface immediately, risk detection or stay submerged, risk sinking, impossible choices, seconds to decide, lives depending on decision. Should submarines operate in contested waters? Comment Y or N. Connecticut's commanding officer orders emergency blow, surface immediately, survival paramount, mission secondary, compressed air released, ballast tanks emptying, submarine rising, emergency ascent, uncontrolled initially, then stabilized, professional training, crisis management, rising toward surface, toward safety, toward air, toward life. Submarine breaches surface at 2:52 p.m., explosive emergence, bow rising, water cascading, sail breaking through, hull exposed, damage visible immediately, forward section crushed, sonar dome destroyed, bow planes bent, severe structural damage, but floating, but stable, but survivable, crew safe, for now. Hit like if you support our submarine force. Injured crew members counted, 11 sailors hurt, 3 serious, head injuries, broken bones, lacerations, impact through men, equipment fell, machinery shifted, chaos during collision, but training prevailed, discipline maintained, professional response, everyone alive, no fatalities, miracle considering impact severity, considering damage extent, considering crisis magnitude. Medical team responds. Independent duty corpsman treating injured, triage established. Critical cases first. Stabilization procedures, pain management, bleeding control, professional medical care, submarine environment, limited resources, maximum skill, lives saved through training, through dedication, through competence. How many submarine collisions occur annually worldwide? A, 2 collisions, B, 7 collisions, C, 15 collisions? At 3:15 p.m., distress signal transmitted, encrypted communication, U.S. Pacific Fleet Headquarters, Pearl Harbor, Admiral notified, submarine in distress, South China Sea, position compromised, Chinese detection probable, rescue needed, support required, strategic situation critical, tactical emergency, operational crisis, all dimensions simultaneously. Navy alert sources confirm collision object unknown, not another submarine. Sonar detected nothing, no torpedo, no mine, no vessel, underwater mountain, uncharted seamount, shipping container, submerged wreckage, theories multiply, answers absent. What Connecticut hit remains mystery, but damage real, injuries actual, crisis undeniable. Chinese surveillance detects surface submarine, satellites overhead, reconnaissance aircraft scrambled, surface vessels responding, Type 055 destroyers, Type 052D frigates, Chinese Coast Guard, everyone converging, American submarine vulnerable, damaged, exposed, helpless, strategic intelligence opportunity, propaganda gold mine, military advantage, China mobilizing everything. Is this Chinese territory? Comment yes or no. USS Carl Vinson Carrier Strike Group alerted. 200 miles away, maximum speed ordered, FA-18 fighters launched, combat air patrol established, protecting damaged submarine, deterring Chinese approach, show of force, message sent, touch that submarine, face consequences, clear communication, unmistakable intent, professional posturing. At 3:47 p.m., Chinese vessels arrive, 3 destroyers circling at 5 miles, cameras recording, intelligence collecting, photographs documenting, submarine design, damage pattern, equipment visible, everything observed, everything analyzed, everything exploited, American technology exposed, secrets revealed, advantage gained through accident, through misfortune, through opportunity. If you want breaking naval news, type Navy Alert below. Connecticut crew continues damage assessment. Hull integrity checked, propulsion tested, navigation evaluated. Can submarine move? Can it dive? Can it transit? Answers emerging. Propulsion functional, steering operable, but diving dangerous. Pressure hull compromised. Watertight integrity questionable. Surface transit only. Slow speed, escorted passage, long voyage home, vulnerable journey, dangerous transit. Chinese Foreign Ministry issues statement. Unidentified submarine surfaced in Chinese territorial waters. We are investigating. Sovereignty will be protected. Claiming territorial jurisdiction, asserting control, propaganda narrative. Connecticut was international waters, 200 miles from nearest Chinese territory, but Beijing claims entire South China Sea, 9-dash line, historical rights, international law rejected, unilateral claims asserted. Pentagon responds immediately. U.S. Navy submarine conducting lawful operations suffered underwater collision in international waters. Crew is safe. Vessel is stable. We are coordinating recovery operations. This incident occurred in international waters, not Chinese territory. Counter-narrative. Facts stated. Legal position clear. Sovereignty disputed. Truth defended. How will China exploit this incident? Comment your prediction. At 4:23 p.m., submarine rescue ship deploys, USNS Safeguard TARS-50 rescue and salvage vessel, based Sasebo, Japan, 5,000 tons, salvage equipment, deep submergence capability, diving systems, repair facilities, everything needed. But 12 hours away, Connecticut must survive until arrival, must avoid further damage, must prevent Chinese interference. Chinese vessels close formation, 3 miles now, aggressive positioning, harassment tactics, not threatening directly, but pressuring, testing, probing. How will America respond? Will carrier strike group escalate? Will fighters engage? Calculations happening, Beijing watching, Washington deciding, both sides measuring, both sides calculating, both sides risking. USS Carl Vinson arrives at 5:15 p.m., carrier plus 3 destroyers, overwhelming force, clear message, Connecticut under American protection, Chinese vessels adjust, opening distance, maintaining observation, but respecting power, deterrence working. For now, situation stabilized temporarily, but tensions remain, crisis continues, standoff develops. Connecticut begins slow transit, 5 knots, surface speed, heading east toward Guam. Submarine base, repair facilities, medical care, safe harbor 800 miles away. 6 days transit at this speed. Long, vulnerable passage. Chinese surveillance entire route. Every mile monitored, every hour documented. Strategic humiliation, operational embarrassment, tactical disaster, but crew survives. That's what matters. Mission fails, but sailors live, priority clear. Chinese propaganda intensifies. American submarine violated Chinese waters. Accident proves reckless operations. U.S. Navy endangers regional peace. State media broadcasting. International narrative pushed. Some nations believing, others skeptical, but story spreading. Damage done. Perception matters. Truth secondary. Information warfare. Modern battlefield. Intelligence community investigates. What caused collision? Seamount theory examined, bathymetric charts reviewed, sonar data analyzed, oceanographic modeling conducted, but South China Sea poorly mapped, underwater terrain uncertain. Seamounts possible, continental shelf complex, geological features numerous, unknown obstacle plausible, but alternative theories exist. Chinese underwater sensor network, tethered sonar array, submarine trap, deliberate obstruction. Questions multiply, conspiracy theories flourish, answers delayed. Technology investigation begins. Why didn't sonar detect object? Equipment malfunction? Human error? Environmental conditions? Acoustic properties? Thermal layers? Sound channels? Submarine sonar, most advanced in world, should detect everything, should prevent collision, should ensure safety. But something failed, something missed, something went wrong. Root cause analysis needed. Lessons learned essential. Future collisions prevented. Through understanding, through improvement, through adaptation. Congressional oversight activated. Senate Armed Services Committee, House Sea Power Subcommittee. Hearings scheduled, admiral testimony required. What happened? Why? How prevent? Could others collide? Is fleet safe? Are submarines vulnerable? Politicians demanding answers? Admirals defending service? Engineers explaining technology? Complex situation? Simple questions? Difficult answers? Public wants certainty. Reality offers probability. Gap between desire and truth. Democracy challenging military. Necessary friction. Healthy tension. Uncomfortable but essential. By day 3, Connecticut reaches Philippine Sea. Safer waters, less Chinese presence, more American support. Allied nations nearby. Japan monitoring. Philippines aware. South Korea observing. Regional allies supporting. Collective security. Mutual interest. Everyone benefits from American submarine capability. Everyone concerned about vulnerability. Everyone watching closely. Damage assessment continues. Naval Sea Systems Command experts reviewing. Submarine design engineers consulting. Hull integrity calculations performed. Stress analysis conducted. Safety margins evaluated. Can Connecticut make Guam or risk structural failure? Pressure hull compromised, diving impossible, but surface transit stresses hull differently. Wave action, structural flexing, fatigue accumulation, risk assessment ongoing, decision pending, continue transit or request tow, pride versus prudence, risk versus certainty, command decision, admiral responsibility. At day 5, decision made, continue under own power, slow speed maintained, weather favorable, sea state calm, structural monitoring continuous, engineering vigilant, risk accepted, confidence expressed, Connecticut continues. Professional seamanship, determined crew, damaged but defiant, hurt but operational, survivable but vulnerable. American submarine limping home, visible reminder, underwater warfare dangers, operational risks, strategic costs. Chinese surveillance never stops, satellites overhead, ships shadowing, aircraft monitoring, every mile documented, every hour photographed, intelligence collection continuous, Connecticut's damage assessed, design features noted, capabilities evaluated, weaknesses identified, everything learned, everything cataloged, everything exploited, through misfortune, through accident, through opportunity. China gains knowledge, America loses secrecy. Strategic balance shifts, marginally, temporarily, but measurably. Media coverage intensifies, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, international press, everyone reporting. Submarine collision, crew injured, China involved, perfect story. Drama, danger, geopolitics, human interest, everything journalists want, coverage continuous, analysis endless, experts interviewed, retired admirals opining, defense contractors commenting, everyone talking, few knowing, but everyone certain, confidence inversely proportional to knowledge, media reality, information age paradox. Connecticut arrives Guam Day 6, Opera Harbor, submarine base, repair facilities waiting, medical teams ready, families gathered, crew disembarks, injured transferred, families reunited, relief visible, gratitude expressed, submarine secured, damage documented, investigation beginning, formal inquiry, detailed analysis, comprehensive review, what happened, why, how prevent, lessons learned, procedures updated, technology improved, training enhanced because submarines collide, sometimes rarely, but occasionally, and each collision teaches, each incident improves, each accident prevents future tragedy, through pain, through loss, through learning. Repair timeline established, 18 months, major work, hull sections replaced, sonar dome rebuilt, bow planes fabricated, systems tested, everything restored, expensive repair, $200 million, but cheaper than new submarine, $4 billion, math obvious, economics clear, fix Connecticut, return to service, maintain fleet strength, sustain strategic advantage, investment essential. China continues propaganda. American submarine recklessly operated. Accident proves danger. U.S. Navy threatens regional peace. Narrative maintained, story repeated, international audience targeted, some convinced, others skeptical, but perception shaped, opinion influenced, strategic communication, information warfare, soft power projection, China learning, adapting, improving, challenging American narrative dominance, contesting information space, fighting for hearts and minds, modern warfare, 21st century battlefield. Crew recovery begins, physical healing, psychological support, trauma counseling, submarine collisions terrifying, death brushed close, survival uncertain, lives risked, everyone affected, some more, some less, but all touched, by mortality, by vulnerability, by reality, professional warriors, but human beings, trained for crisis, but shocked by impact, prepared for danger, but surprised by disaster, support essential, time needed, healing gradual, but eventual. Navy takes care of its own, always has, always will. Sailors matter, people count, lives valued, not just mission, not just operations, humans, fundamentally, essentially. Strategic implications analyzed, submarine vulnerability demonstrated, Chinese capabilities improved, South China Sea operations complicated, risk assessment updated, procedures revised, tactics adapted, because lessons matter, because learning essential, because improvement necessary, static military loses, adaptive military wins, evolution through adversity, growth through pain, advancement through setback, military culture, warrior mentality, continuous improvement, never satisfied, always learning, forever adapting, because enemies adapt, threats evolve, challenges multiply. Only through constant growth can superiority maintain, can dominance continue, can victory be assured. Technology investment increases, better sonar, improved sensors, enhanced processing, artificial intelligence integration, machine learning detection, quantum sensing research, every advantage pursued, every improvement sought, every capability enhanced, because submarine collisions unacceptable, because crew injuries preventable, because operational losses avoidable through technology, through training, through dedication, investment returns, research pays, development succeeds, America maintains edge, preserves advantage, ensures superiority through constant investment, through persistent improvement, through dedicated effort. Allied reaction significant, Japan concerned, Australia worried, South Korea nervous, Philippines calculating, everyone dependent on American submarine capability, everyone threatened by vulnerability, Everyone invested in restoration, collective security, alliance interdependence, mutual interest. Connecticut collision affects everyone. Regional security impacted, strategic balance shifted, allies respond, support offered, assistance provided, facilities shared, resources committed, because alliance works, because cooperation matters, because together stronger, fundamental truth, essential reality, strategic necessity. Final status: USS Connecticut collided with unknown underwater object. Emergency surface: 11 crew injured, submarine damaged. China exploited incident. Propaganda launched. Strategic intelligence gathered. Connecticut transited surface. 6-day passage. Reached Guam safely. Repairs ongoing, crew recovering. Investigation continuing. Lessons learning. Procedures adapting. Fleet evolving. Submarine force resilient. American Navy determined. Allies committed. Strategic advantage maintained despite setback, despite embarrassment, despite cost. Submarines continue, operations persist, mission endures, because undersea domain matters, because strategic deterrence requires, because American security depends on submarines, on crews, on dedication, on professionalism, on resilience, on determination. Always has, always will, forever essential. This is submarine force. This is strategic deterrence. This is American power, underwater, unseen, unstoppable, despite accidents, despite collisions, despite challenges, always forward, always operational, always ready. The answer? B. Approximately 7 submarine collisions occur annually worldwide. All navies, all oceans. Underwater environment dangerous, obstacles numerous, detection difficult. Collisions happen, professionally unfortunate, operationally concerning, strategically significant, but manageable, survivable, recoverable through training, through technology, through determination. Submarine forces persist, despite dangers, despite risks, despite costs. Mission too important, capability too valuable, strategic deterrence too essential. Submarines continue, always have, always will. Should submarine operations continue in contested waters? Will China militarize this incident? Can underwater collisions be prevented? Hit like if you want real-time submarine coverage. Subscribe to Navy Alert, where maritime news breaks first. Submarine operations, underwater warfare, strategic deterrence, naval incidents, Chinese competition, South China Sea, everything submarine, all operations, all incidents, all analyzed, real-time reporting, expert analysis, professional journalism. This is what we do. This is why we matter. This is Navy Alert, where submarines surface, where news breaks, where coverage dives deep, where truth matters, always, forever, essentially. Subscribe now.